Hi everyone, today we are looking at a question like this, okay? So in a speed question, there will always be three different concepts. Speed is a topic. You as a student, right? If you say, I want to be good in math, you need to know the concept, okay? Now, let's ask ourselves, is this a DST question, a meets-up question, or a catch-up question? There are only three concepts that you need to learn. And you need to know, and you need to learn how to identify. You understand what I'm saying? So let's talk about this. Sentence number one. It says that Bertha and Frank, they were driving at uniform speed. You know what is uniform? Basically, it is the same. Correct or not? All right, same speed towards each other. You agree so far? Now, so of course, Bertha will travel at this particular speed. It will be the same speed throughout. And then Frank will travel at this particular speed and it will be the same throughout. I am not saying that Bertha and Frank, they have the same speed. Please remember that, okay? So some questions, they will use the word constant speed. Make sense? That means the speed doesn't change. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, now, when I see that they are traveling towards each other, I know they are coming towards each other, right? So if I'm coming towards each other, isn't this a meetup question? All right, a meetup. That means they are going to meet somewhere at a point. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to quickly draw a timeline. Okay, where's Bertha? Bertha is going towards this side. Okay, I encourage my students to draw two timelines because sometimes drawing one timeline, right, will not really help you to visualize well. Okay, pardon me for the horrible timeline drawing. Let me just redraw this. Okay, so one timeline may not be the best. All right, so if you can draw two timelines, make sense? And Frank is going towards this side. Make sense? Okay, because they are going to meet at one point. Where? I still don't know. Okay, now one thing for sure I know is this, is that they were 600 kilometers apart at what time?
600 kilometers apart
at 10 a.m. Okay, and what happens is this, okay? So is there anything that I can do for this? Now, when I see that they are 600 kilometers apart, what does that mean? This is the distance. Agree so far? And this is 10 a.m. This is the time. Make sense? And what time did they pass each other? 1 p.m. Okay, 1 p.m. So that means Bertha has to travel. Follow my cursor, can? Bertha has to travel 1 p.m. Okay, so let's imagine imagine this is 1 p.m. Okay, I don't know when exactly it's 1 p.m. right? So what I'm doing is just an estimation. Okay, so this is 1 p.m. and where is Bertha? Bertha is over here. Make sense? Where do you think Frank is? Frank is over here as well. You agree so far? All right, so this is 1 p.m. and this is where Frank is. You understand what I'm saying? So they pass each other at this particular timing. Make sense? Now, I got reminded, okay, that in my earlier part of the sentence, right, they are how many kilometers apart? 600 kilometers apart at what time? 10 a.m. Okay, so let's imagine this is 10 a.m. Okay, all right, so from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., right, how many hours is that? 11, 12, 1. Isn't that equals to 3 hours? Make sense? So what they are telling you is this, okay, is that they need 3 hours to cover that 600 kilometers. Because you see, that they are now apart, right? They are now apart, correct? Just now they were this far apart. But after traveling until 1 p.m., now they are passing each other. Okay, so this 600 kilometers apart, right, is the whole thing. You understand so far? Now, so I don't know what is the distance, okay? I know that Bertha's speed is actually 90 kilometers per hour. Make sense? So if Bertha's speed is 90 kilometers per hour, okay, so what I want to do is I want to write What I want to do now is I can quickly find out my distance, right? Which is 90 times 3, and that gives me how much? 270 km. Okay, so you must understand that because they are 600 kilometers apart, in order for them to cover the gap, both of them need to contribute a little bit. Right? So what I am telling you is this, is that this is actually how much? 270 kilometers. All right, but I have to travel because you see, if I want to meet up with a person, the person and me, we both have to come to a common point. Where is that common point over here? The common point is this. Can you see that? So Bertha will have to travel a bit, right? And then after that, Frank will have to travel the other bit. You agree so far? I say that again, Bertha will have to travel some bits, and then Frank will have to travel the other bit. You understand what I'm saying? So how much did Frank travel is basically whatever that is over here. Now, do you remember what is the total distance? How far apart are they? 600 kilometers. So in order for me to find how much did Frank travel, the distance of Frank is simply 600 kilometers minus away 270 kilometers. Okay, and that gives me 330 kilometers. Okay, my time itself, remember, they both started at 10 a.m., right? So I know that my time will also be 3 hours. Make sense? And I can quickly find speed, right? The question say, find friend speed. If the question wants you to find the person's speed, right? The questioner must give you hints to find the distance and the time. You understand? So my speed over here will be d over t. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right, what exactly is d over t? We do 330 divided by 3, we get to 110 kilometers per hour. Now, this makes a lot of sense to me. You know why? Because you see, I know that Frank traveled faster than Berta. And if Frank traveled faster than Berta, then Frank definitely covered more distance than Berta. Make sense? Okay, so this is how you would do a question like this.